Well, I guess first off, the world tour continues for you, right? Australia, Brazil, Australia. I mean, did you sign up for this? Is this the way it keeps happening? What do you think?
I love traveling. I've always loved it. It's been the highlight of my fighting career, is being able to travel the world. So my 4 fights for the UFC, I was in Maine, which is literally as far away as you could get from my home in Temecula. Then I've got Australia, which is, well, even further away, and then Brazil, and then back to Australia. I love it. It has been the highlight of my fighting career, and I hope they keep me moving. I'd like to fight in Europe and Japan yet.
Wow.
So we'll see if we can't get that happening.
It's got to be tough though, because I mean, you bring the whole family, so it's not just, you know, you jump on a plane and zone out. I mean, you still got a lot of responsibility. So is that tough to balance all that?
My day-to-day life, I train with my family. I'm with my kids when I'm not training. I'm with my wife when I am training, when I'm not training, and I don't want to change anything. So they come with, and they just another day. Saturday is just like, you know, Friday.
No doubt. Your last victory, obviously a huge one for you. Have you felt any difference, maybe a little bit of recognition, or people giving you a little bit more respect and say, okay, hold on, maybe this guy's for real?
Yeah, since my big knockout against Cesar, people have recognized me a little more. I feel like I'm getting a little more credit. The betting lines have finally been in my favor, and that's never been the case before. It doesn't mean a lot, but it's nice to see. Actually, I kind of preferred it when I was the underdog. Yeah, I made my friends and family a little more money back home.
That's funny. The matchup here is one you wanted for so. Why was this a matchup that you wanted? I think even he was trying to figure out why you wanted to fight him so bad.
My first fight was in Australia, or I suppose it was my second UFC fight, but my first fight in Australia, he fought. He had just an impressive outing. I mean, socked that boy down, got him down, submitted him. It was awesome. I got to talk to him backstage, and he was awesome too. He was super. I mean, he had his family. He was nice. He was very fun to talk with, and that's the kind of people I want to fight. I want to fight my friends. You know, you only have so many opportunities to fight. Why waste them fighting people you don't like? I believe he and I will have the fight of the night, you know, type performance, and that's what I'm looking for now. I kind of got hooked on him over in Brazil, and I'm hoping he comes out guns blazing, and that's my plan.
That's funny. I mean, can you explain that mindset at all? Because I think a lot of people think, you know, you call out people that you hate or you don't like, or, you know, you want to teach them a lesson or whatever, and you're saying, no man, I respect this guy.
You know, with this sport, he can only get paid if I fight him. I can only get paid if he fights me, which means my income is based on if he says yes to a fight or not. So by him fighting me, he's making me 15, 30,000, 45,000, whatever. I mean, money, and I'm doing the same for him. Said I don't want to give my enemies money. I'll give my friends money.
That's awesome. You think that's a more mindset that like more fighters need to understand?
I would think so, but I think that. So the people I fight, I'm always friendly with them. Even if they're going to rub their forearm on my throat in the weigh-in photo, I'll be as friendly with them until I step in the cage. And then even then it's only 15 minutes of not being all that friendly.
So what's the mindset as you step in the cage, knowing that you respect the guy, you don't dislike him? Is there something that you have to change in your head, or when the fight starts, or how does it play out from there?
I'm unique in the sport in that I don't think what I do is all that special compared to anybody else. So I get in the cage and it's just my job. It's construction workers wake up in the morning and they go to work. It's their job. My job happens to be in a cage, not in a building. And so I'm really comfortable. I'm not nervous for my fights. I'm not nervous stepping in the cage. I'm maybe a little more emotional because I get to really enjoy what I do for the next 15 minutes. But it's just, I have fun with my job.
That's awesome. Talk about stylistically how you guys match up. I think the simple breakdown would be your striking should be an advantage, but you've got to stay out of the clinch because that's where he might be the strongest. Do you feel that's the case? I mean, or is it something different?
You know, if you look on paper, my striking is, you know, better. I've got more knockouts than he does. And you know what? He's got a great camp, so I suspect that they're banking on that. So with my camp, I changed my strategies. I'm looking to get a submission this round. I want to show my collegiate wrestling against his judo because I know he's not going to want to stand with me. Just on paper, it wouldn't make sense for him to. So he's going to look for the takedown. He's going to look for probably the throw because he's a judo superstar. And I've been training with some really good judo guys, so I'm interested in seeing how I do with that.
That's awesome. You're fighting on Mother's Day. How did the conversation go? I mean, was there a discussion? I know your wife's obviously very supportive, but I mean, on her day, she's got to be in your corner and wrapping your hands and all that. So when this came up, was there ever a talk like, hey, you couldn't give me, you know, one day off?
You know what? We made a deal. As soon as the fight's over, we're going up to Northern Australia, and that'll be our Mother's Day. We're going to go snorkel and scuba dive the Barrier Reef. So we're going to get to hang out that way. But even more than the Mother's Day, this has been a pretty eventful trip. It was my birthday, technically today in the States, but it was yesterday in Australia. So I get 2 birthdays on this trip. I don't get to eat cake or anything, so it's kind of a sad birthday, but I got 2 of them, and that's pretty fun.